hello and welcome to the 155th episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go up for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning high definition, where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter to never miss an episode and buy sick t-shirts from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, Jamal Al-Jafra, alongside Brent Bazoinga Bass. I don't know what a bazoinga is, but it sounds extremely sexual.
It sounds bouncy to me, you know? It sounds like one of those things you'd sit on as a kid with the handle and you'd bounce around like a hippity hop.
Yeah, like a hippity hop.
Mm-hmm.
They're not called bazoingas.
Yeah, but I mean, if that was like their name, I wouldn't be surprised, you know? I wouldn't be like, oh, that's a bad name for those, you know?
That's true. I just feel like you'd probably get sued by some parent, like if you just named a kid's toy a bazoinga.
Really? Why?
It just sounds
too sexual
inherently
for you?
Sexual. Yeah.
I see. It's only sexual because you're making it sexual. I think you just got a dirty, nasty mind.
Sick, nasty mind, dude.
Dirty mind over here. And it just, bazoinga just makes you think of all the bazoingin babes out there, you know?
The bazoingians.
The bazoingians,
They come from planet Bazoinga. Yeah. Anyways, so a little behind the scenes shout out to those of you that did show up to the meetup. Devin Mayer is kind of set up here, or like got us in the mood to set up.
Yeah.
We met up at the Game Preserve. That was pretty fun. Played some classic games.
We had a good time. We're going to have to do it more often. Those of you that didn't show up, you missed out on some serious classics. We got 4-player Gauntlet going for a second. We were all smashed together.
Yeah.
It was sick.
It's very tight to feel what it was like to be back in the 80s playing Gauntlet.
It had a serious
90s,
80s vibe. They had like a jukebox playing 80s songs and like pinball machines, and basically you missed out if you didn't come. So
yeah, for sure. And next time we'll probably do like a Dave and Buster's or something with some more modern games, I imagine.
Yeah, maybe somewhere that serves food, you know? Yeah,
I was getting a little hungry. Anyways, so anything cool happened to you this week, Brent? Anything interesting?
Oh man, I've just been reading the Lock and Key books all week, you know, the comic books.
Did you say read? Nerd. No, just kidding. No, just kidding.
No, they're really good, man. So you know how I said last week that I watched the Lock and Key show all the way through or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I got to find the source material for this because it's obviously based on something like everything else these days. So I went and Googled it, you know, the source of all information, and found out that it was at first it was a comic, it was a graphic novel. You know?
Yeah. So
I went and I found this app on my iPhone, got a 7-day free trial where you can like read as much comic book action as you want, you know? So I got the 7-day free trial and I started reading the Lock and Key books, and I read the first 4 so far. There's only 6 of them. Well, no, there's 7 actually. But I've read the first 4 and they're really, really good. But you know how the show's kind of like a lighthearted and like PG-13 at worst? You know what I mean? The comic is like a hard R rating. Like people are getting like chopped up and like fucking massacred, and like they're dropping F-bombs, and it's crazy. I mean, it's like really, really vulgar. Like,
does anybody ever get violently massacred in the show?
In the show, people die in the show, but it's not as like...
It's not gruesome.
It's not gruesome. You know, there's like a darkness to like the art style too in the comic book that's like gritty feeling. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like you'll see the same events take place in the show, but in the show it feels like an episode of NCIS, and in the comic book, it feels like fucking like Hostel or something. You know what I mean?
Wow,
It's
that's
like,
a departure.
it's just a lot darker, and like even the same situations, like the part where like they, at the spoiler alert, the dad gets killed. That's like a central figure in the like that's pretty much the whole point of the story. Is like they go to the dad's house after he gets killed, but the whole dad sequence getting killed is a lot more fucked off in the book, and like just basically everything is more messed up in the book. You know what I mean? Also, the keys work slightly differently in the book. Like some of them, like for example, in the TV show, you can tell a lot of it's like streamlined for the TV show. You know what I mean? Not necessarily like trying to like change the story too much or anything. They just like, okay, we could just make that a lot less bullshit, and just make it all into one key kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like in the comic book, there's a key that changes your gender, and there's a key that can turn you black or change your race or whatever. You know what I mean? And then there's a key that basically all these keys that just combined into the one key in the TV show that like can just basically turn you into whoever you want. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Or like in the TV show, a lot of it's like adapted for like TV to work better. Like in the TV show, like the head key, you put the head key in and like a door appears in front of you, or like in Bodhi's case, a chest appears in front of you, and you go into your like head through that doorway. But in like the comic book, you like do a key and like the top of your head comes off, and like you like stand next to your own body and like look down into your own head. I don't know.
Wow, that's pretty heady, if you ask me.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
No pun intended. No, but yeah, like
I lost an ear or something here.
Yeah, I hear that. But yeah, no, I'll probably have to get back into the show, and then I do definitely need to check out the books. I didn't get to watch much of anything or play anything this week because I had the coronavirus, or well, not
you and everybody else, right?
Yeah,
like
I didn't have the coronavirus, or at least I hope I don't, or like. But yesterday I was like knocked the fuck out, dude. It was like the flu or something. Like it just hit me so hard. Like I couldn't leave my bed. Like I couldn't watch anything because like the sound hurt. Like it was just that bad.
Bro,
like,
you got the coronavirus. You need to get away from me right now. We need to set up a barrier between. We need to quarantine JAMAL. Over on that side.
I'm in quarantine, just like that lady in San Antonio who went to the mall and stuff. Did you see that? Like about the lady who like has coronavirus
in San Antonio?
Yeah.
Oh hell no, bro.
Yeah.
She's definitely who gave it to you.
Yeah, because I was at that. No, I wasn't at that mall. But apparently, this lady like was on quarantine, and they tested her for coronavirus, and she tested negative. So they tested her again, came back negative. And then they tested her again, but it takes 24 hours for the test to come back with the results.
So she's just chilling for 3 days at the fucking mall, or what?
So no, after 2 negative tests and then 1 awaiting test, I'm sure this lady was just like complaining about being held in quarantine. So they were like, "All right, we'll just let you go." So they let her go, and so she's like walking around. She went to the mall and like did all this crazy shit, that you should never do if you think you might possibly have coronavirus. And then the test came back and she tested positive on the 3rd test.
Oh no.
And so she was just wandering around in like all these public places in San Antonio, like which we live pretty close to. And then they called her, like, "Yo, you need to get back to quarantine." But yeah, so after she had already done all this public bullshit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. The end is nigh.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, they don't.
Oh, I ordered that computer, man. It's happening.
Shit.
It's going down. I put the payment through. Hopefully it should show up at my doorstep soon.
It's just a big scam. Like you just send all your money in.
I sure hope not. I'm getting it just in time for all these excellent games too. I'm really excited. This month is going to be a good month for games, man.
It's true. I've been seeing a lot of the Half-Life Alyx gameplay. Looks pretty interesting.
Dude, it looks good, doesn't it? I'm excited. I don't know.
It looks good. It doesn't look like anything mind-blowing to me.
No, I mean, it looks like, a VR game.
Yeah, that's what
It looks like a VR game with really good graphics. I really think the graphics look better. And honestly, I think the physics look really good, like how everything seems interactable,
Yeah,
like,
you can just like knock stuff over.
Yeah.
And stuff. But like the fight, like the combat it looks repetitive to me. I was like very
we'll have
upset
to see.
about that.
I don't know, like, because I saw one of the little clips. There was 3 clips they dropped, and one of them he's in like a gunfight with these guys, and like they're coming around the corner on him. And he, like, opens the car door, and he's, like, hiding behind it, like, shooting over the top of it and stuff. And then he, like, pushes it into the dude and, like, knocks him back. I just feel like the physics are going to be a, like, big part of the combat. And there's another one I saw where the guy's, like, shooting at the dude, and he, like, pulls a pipe out of the door, and the door was locked, and he, like, throws the pipe at one of the monsters and, like, knocks him over and shit. Like, I think it's more than just, like, the shooting looks a little basic, but I think there's more to it than that. You know what I mean?
For sure. I hope so, because I want VR to explode.
Yeah, me too.
I want it to become the next big thing.
I'm really excited about that. But even if that ends up being a flop, I've got this dope computer that's going to be able to play everything way prettier than, like, an Xbox One X or something would. So I'm
for
really
sure.
excited about that.
Really excited.
Really excited.
Yeah, so I guess let's jump into the video game news, dude. Not that there was like a crazy amount of cool news, but we'll jump into it. Just so you guys know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the news articles as our own. We're simply giving our commentary on these, and then just bringing the news to you. That's what we do. That's what we do over
That's
here.
all I do.
So let's start it off with some I guess what I would call funny news here with Stephen Wright at GameSpot. He says Antonio Banderas has joined the latest incarnation of the long in production Uncharted movie project, according to a report from Variety. He will appear alongside Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, who are reportedly set to star as treasure hunter Nathan Drake and his mentor Victor Sullivan, respectively. The film will be directed by Ruben Fleischer, who is best known for helming 2009's Zombieland and the recent Venom. So I guess they did get Ruben Fleischer. They were talking about wanting him, and they were like, yeah, the job's open if he wants it. And so I guess he took it. But it's unclear what role Banderas will play. The actor recently received his first Oscar nomination at the latest Academy Awards for his role in Pain and Glory. The action movie will also star Sophia Ali, which is from Grey's Anatomy, as the female lead, while Chilling Adventures of Sabrina actress Tati Gabrielle has also come aboard in a major role. There is no word on the specific characters that Ali and Gabrielle will play, but Variety's Justin Kroll says Ali will play the female lead while Gabrielle will star in a key role. Yeah, so apparently this movie is happening.
Yeah, I saw another article with Mark Wahlberg talking about the movie just generally, not really like saying much about it, just like, how it's kind of like Indiana Jones and this and that, which, you'd expect an Uncharted movie to be similar to Indiana Jones.
Well, I have that quote real quick. I guess I'll just go ahead and mention it. Anyway,
Yeah.
I should have put all this in one thing, but
well,
we'll just imagine this is all one article. Okay, so the Uncharted movie is finally happening, for real this time. Mark Wahlberg, who is playing Sully, has now spoken more about the movie, revealing when it starts shooting and what viewers can expect. He told Collider that filming is scheduled to begin in, quote, about 2 weeks' time, end quote, so sometime in March. This matches up with what Nathan Drake actor Tom Holland already said. Regarding the story, Wahlberg said it's more than an origin story. That's my best voice for him. That will focus on the first time Drake and Sully met. They eventually overcome their differences and become friends, according to the actor. Wahlberg also compared the Uncharted movie to Indiana Jones, which makes a lot of sense given both stories are about an archaeologist adventurer who travels the world, destroying precious historical sites and killing people. Okay, quote, I felt like when I was reading it, how does he sound? How does Mark Wahlberg sound?
It depends on like what era of. See, like when I think of Mark Wahlberg, I think about like that skit where Andy Samberg is like talking to the chickens, like, "Hey, chicken, you're talking to me? I'm Mark Wahlberg." You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I remember. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Okay, he's like, I felt like when I was reading it. No, I can't.
It's okay. Just channel your inner Wahlberg, and it'll come out the way you want it to.
I felt like when I was reading it.
There you go.
I was reading Indiana Jones or Thomas Crown Affair.
You sound just like him. There you go.
He said, it's got these great elements of these heist movies and adventures movies like I've never been a part of. Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception he's done talking. Drake's Deception included a flashback sequence featuring a young Nathan Drake and the first time he met Sully. So it appears the movie is using at least some of that. Anyways, so there you go. You heard it from Mark Wahlberg himself.
Mark Wahlberg himself.
The Wahlburger. Anyways, Brent, what you got over there?
Okay. Riot, the creator of League of Legends, will be releasing a new 5v5 tactical shooter game titled Valorant. Gunplay is a big part of it, and your technical abilities to shoot precisely will matter a lot. The twist, though, is that each character called agents will also have special powers and abilities, so winning will depend on a combination of precise shooting, a creative usage of powers, and, of course, teamwork. So basically, Overwatch. Riot's aiming for a summer release, according to the tweet that they put out. It'll also only be available on PC and will be free to play. Like many people have commented, the game's vibes are a combination of Overwatch and Counter-Strike. It remains to be seen if the full gameplay turns out that way.
You see, they announced this as like an answer to Overwatch. It's like the League of Legends of Overwatch. You know what I'm saying? But
this is one of those games they announced with their whole Riot Forge thing, right?
Yeah, this was a while back. And my thing is like, is Overwatch even that popular anymore?
No, but I don't think that's. I think like there's still a place for that kind of game. You know what I mean?
You think so? You think this is going to drop and bring that type of game back into?
No, I don't think so. But I think that I don't think that game will ever reach the heights of popularity that it did. And I'm talking about Overwatch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, specifically.
I don't think that style of gameplay will ever get as popular as it did when Overwatch was first busting on the scene.
Yeah, because it was big hype for a while.
But I do think that there is enough people that are still into it to keep the genre alive, and I do think that as far as a competitive space, you know what I mean, then that kind of game is still popular in the competitive world, you know?
Yeah, hopefully this will, I mean, also with it being free to play, will, bring some people back to that genre.
Totally.
I want to try it out. It looks fun.
I mean, you might as well. I think with the free to play model, Apex is a good example of if your game is decent and you make it free to play, people will play it. You know what I mean? It's even if you don't really announce it or anything, you know?
For sure. By way of Eddie McCooch at GameSpot, famous jeans company Levi's is teasing some kind of partnership with Nintendo. The San Francisco-based apparel giant on Monday tweeted a 3-second teaser that appears to signal that Nintendo-branded pants are on the way. What a time to be alive. Nintendo would be just the latest massive entertainment brand that Levi's partners with. The company previously made officially licensed Star Wars and Disney clothing. No other details are available on the Levi's plus Nintendo partnership, so all we can do is speculate on what the offerings might include, like Mario branded overalls to match what the portly plumber wears in the games. We can only hope.
Even if it's just normal jeans with a Triforce on where the Levi's logo would be, that would be sick, dude, you know?
Yeah, I guess. But I think the most important thing in this article is the latter part of it, which is that we can only, he says, in 2016, the Nintendo president Tatsumi Kimishima explained that as a result of changes in the gaming landscape, fewer and fewer young people are finding out about Nintendo games through games. Instead, they're discovering Nintendo and its characters through things like officially licensed Mario toothbrushes. Kimishima said at the time that you can expect these kinds of licensing deals to continue and possibly increase, and this includes the new Levi's partnership. I just want to bring that up because it's really depressing and sad that kids these days, like their way into finding out about Super Mario is through toothbrushes. This makes me so sad.
Well, it's like a gateway drug, Jamal. You know?
It is.
They're like, who's Mario? And then their parents get them a Switch, and then they find out, oh, this is Mario.
But at one point, it's like you couldn't even know what a video game was without calling it Mario. You know, like parents were like, oh, he's playing those Mario games or those Nintendo games when you're playing on your Xbox, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, and now it's like reaching a point where kids are like, what's Mario, you know, like,
sad, bro. Well, that's just because we haven't had the officially licensed Mario movie yet. Well, not like coming. The new one, you know. I think with the success of Sonic, we'd be fools to think we're not going to get a Mario movie soon.
They've already said they're working on a Mario movie.
Yeah,
it's
they
like
did.
DreamWorks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is working on it. So
but that's one of those things we heard about like years ago, and just like,
yeah, it's supposed to be fully animated, so it's going to be like, I imagine like
it'll be.
The Goombas are going to be like the Minions, you know. It's just going to get ridiculous.
My question is there going to be like voice acting, you know? Is Mario going to be like, oh, Mamma Mia?
That's all he says. It's a Mario.
I mean, has there ever been like an animated Mario thing where he like talks through the whole thing? I'm sure there has. Probably several.
What are you talking about,
the
bro?
Mario cartoon. Okay, that doesn't count.
Yeah, that does count. Okay?
Doesn't count, dude.
Yes, it does.
Has there been any kind of animation since 2000? In the past 20 years?
Not that I'm aware of. Not where he's like having full-on conversations with people, but that's disrespect, bro. I got that. I got the full Super Mario Super Show complete series on DVD.
Bro, if it's not like the Legend of Zelda animated series,
oh my
God,
I
don't want it.
It might be just as bad, but I love it. Anyways, yeah, so that's a weird little piece of news there. Anyways, what you got?
Okay, Death Stranding is coming to PC in June, and as part of its exclusive features, the Hideo Kojima directed game will have a crossover content with Valve's Half-Life. Published 505 revealed the special crossover alongside the announcement of Death Stranding's June 2nd release date for PC players, but has kept most of the details secret for now. Aside from a small clip of Sam Briggs wearing a head crab at the end of the trailer, there's no indication what other items from the popular shooter will be making an appearance on Death Stranding.
Did you watch the little teaser for Sam Briggs, like, you know, wearing the, you know, the little the face hugger thing?
No, I didn't watch it.
I don't know why. Something bothers me about the way that, like, it's animated, like the way that he moves and stuff, and like he's like taking a selfie with it. Like, I don't know.
That's weird.
I guess it's to show off like the photo mode or whatever.
I know that like 100% this is not what's going to happen, but I really hope they do like a VR version of this game, like they did with Senua, the Hellblade game. You know what I mean?
You crazy.
I know. But if they're teaming up with Valve, I mean, you know, crazier things have happened.
That's
you know?
true.
And like I'm talking about like over the shoulder, like Soul, like Hellblade. What was that game called?
Senua Sacrifice.
Yeah.
I
want that.
But before we get off of like the whole talk about Death Stranding, hold on, I gotta find this because this is important. Right here. Okay, so this is by way of Joe Screbbles at IGN. He says, Kojima Productions may have just teased that it's working on a Silent Hill game in a very strange way. Or it might be trolling the internet. Or it might be a coincidence. Whatever it is, it's fun. Oh, on the Death Stranding Studios English language Twitter account, head of communications Aki Saito posted a picture of himself to jokingly prove he still worked at the company. He wrote, quote, "Sorry to be silent, everyone. I've been really busy lately. I think I can say more soon about what we are going to That message and that picture have sent internet detectives into overdrive. The subtle hint about taking more what the company's working on, or talking more what the company's working on. He worded that so weird. Working on is one thing. Then the use of the word silent. Getting even deeper, zooming into the picture reveals a notepad Saito's using that reads "next week!" exclamation point.
Oh, shit.
And
bust out the tinfoil hats,
yeah.
dude.
And if you want to get really wild, the pencil he's writing with says pyramid on it.
Shit.
Some have taken the use of silent and pyramid, as in pyramid head, to mean the company is working on a Silent Hill game and that it will be announced or teased next week. But it must be stated clearly, this may be a joke from Kojima Productions or a total coincidence. To the theory's credit, we did learn recently that Hideo Kojima has been working on a new concept and has recently tweeted that he's watching scary movies to make the scariest horror game. In a separate report, we recently learned that Konami may be working on a soft reboot of the Silent Hills series, with 2 new games apparently in the works.
Ooh, and that fucking artist guy from the other day who worked on the original Silent Hill games. You remember how we talked about the Silent Hill artist? Fucking.
Oh yeah, he said he's working on
who's
something.
working on a new fucking another thing. Yeah, he
Yeah,
can't talk about
can't
it much.
talk about it.
Dude. It's going down, bro. We're getting Silent Hill. I feel it in my bones.
We are
dude.
getting Silent Hill in some respect, but is Kojima working on it?
That's what
thing.
the whole basis of this article you just read.
No,
is
that's what
hinting at, right? I mean, well,
maybe
if the rumors are true, I don't know, man. Stranger things have happened. You know what I mean?
That's true. Stranger Things did happen on Netflix. And that's it. That's all we got.
What if Konami's...
What's the stranger thing that happened? That you're like, stranger things have happened in the gaming industry.
I'm talking about those 2 teaming back up. You know what I mean?
That I just don't see. That would be the strangest thing if that did happen, because first off, they had a huge falling out. You know, Kojima worked for Konami for so long, and then they had that huge falling out. They got the game that he was working on got canceled, pulled from the PlayStation Store to never be seen again unless you already had it downloaded. You know, like, but then they're just going to play it nice after he left and made his own game.
See, here's the thing, though.
And
okay?
got bought up by PlayStation.
Here's the thing, okay? Konami is a big, heartless, soulless entity that doesn't give a shit about feelings or like what happened last year or whatever. They care about cash money, dog. That's all they care about. And maybe they made a deal with Kojima and they're like, look, we'll give you all the resources you need, all the time you need. We won't pressure you. We just know that if you make this game for us, it's going to be one of the biggest paydays we've had in a long time. You know what I mean? I don't know. It doesn't... Yeah. I mean, like, because all Kojima really wants, in my opinion, and I could be wrong about this, is creative freedom. You know what I mean? Like, I think that was the big issue.
Yeah,
right?
Which now he has his own studio to do that.
Well, yeah, but also, I don't know. I mean, like, if it's just the rights, okay, like, let's say Konami's like, look, you do all the work at your own studio, and you just give us like 20% of the profits for the rights to use the Silent Hills brand or whatever. You know what I mean? Even that doesn't seem like that out of the question. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting to think about for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll get a Kojima Productions Silent Hills game.
Or what if they bought the rights and they're being quiet about it, you know?
I just don't see that. That's too much.
Okay, what if it's not necessarily Silent Hills? What if it's just like, I mean, you could do Silent Hill and not call it Silent Hill.
Quiet Mountains.
Just not. You could do the same exact story and imply that it's like, just call it a different name and never mention that they're in the town of Silent Hills. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
They just have Cube Head, like
they
way less
did that
scary.
In Evil Within, like.
That's true. Wow, I didn't even think about that. I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. I would be very excited if this is a true thing. Like they said next week, so let's see what happens.
I think, it's got me excited. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, for sure.
What if it's a VR game? No, that's too. I'm just getting too hyped.
All right, okay, now you're just like living in your dreams.
I just need to chill out. That would be the scariest god dang VR experience, though. Like,
oh, it'd be tight. Anyways, what you got?
Okay. Oh man, I'm too hyped. Okay. I will save you the trouble on this whole article. Basically, this is just informing you that Final Fantasy VII Remake demo is officially out on the PlayStation 4. So go ahead and download that and give it a try. It's coming out April 10th for the real game, so check it out. Let's see. You want me to do another one, or you want to?
That's up to you. You can go ahead.
Okay, I'll hit another one. Okay, this one isn't video game related, but it's really interesting to me, so I'm going to read it because fuck you guys. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Lee Wanell is currently enjoying the success of his new film, The Invisible Man, which opened at the top of the U.S. box office and has reviewed well. I really want to see that, by the way, but kind of not the point of the story. The director and writer, who has just signed on to create more horror films for Blumhouse, is also instrumental in one of the most important horror franchises of the 2000s. He wrote and starred in the original Saw, and then wrote Saw 2 and 3 as well. In an interview with Fandom, Wanell has reflected on the Saw films, particularly the first one, and recalls that he and director James Wan had lower aspirations than you might expect. "We never intended that movie to connect with people the way it did," he says. "Our goal was to make a straight-to-video film. This was 2003. Video stores were still a thing." Wanell says that he and Wan were big fans of video stores, and they thought it would be really cool if we could land in Blockbuster on that shelf. Saw went on to gross over $100 million worldwide on a budget of $1.2 million, and the series continued to expand from there. Wanell's last writing credit for the series was on Saw 3, which ends with the brutal death of Jigsaw, the serial killer behind the film's murders. Quote, "The last Saw movie I wrote was the third one, and I killed the villain," Wanell recalls. "Doesn't get more definitive than that. He's dead." But of course, the series continued on after this, despite Wanell stepping away from writing. Quote, "They came to me and said, 'Let's get to it. Let's do part 4. And I said, 'No, I think we're done here.' And they said, 'No, we're not done, but thanks for your time.'" Wanell says that he feels they created sort of a millennial Freddy Krueger, as although Jigsaw's death was never reversed, he continued to be a part of the series from beyond the grave. "In the same way I used to go to sleepovers in my teens and watch Freddy movies, millennial kids were doing that with Saw movies. I still have people come up to me and go, 'When I was a kid, I grew up on Saw movies.' So that's pretty cool." A new movie in the Saw franchise, Spiral, from the Book of Saw, will release May 15th, 2020. It will be the 9th film in the series. It has by far the most famous cast of any of the films in the franchise. It's written by and stars Chris Rock alongside Samuel L. Jackson. Wanell is attached as a producer. So, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. I feel like there's a lot of cool information about like the Saw movies in there and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty weird that they're isn't this one supposed to be like a soft reboot thing though? It's not really like a 9th movie. I thought it was going to be a reboot.
I think it's like a prequel almost. It says Spiral from the Book of Saw. So I don't know if it's like actually... I have no idea. It'll be interesting to see what it's really about, you know?
I just don't know if I trust Chris Rock to write and star, you know? Like,
it seems like a weird person to write it, right?
Yeah.
Like, has he done any other movies that he's like written?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I'm sure he has. But I've also noticed that there's like a lot of... you know, like famous people that hold the rights to like certain, you know, like properties and stuff like that you wouldn't ever expect. Like, I want to check this to see if I'm right about it, because I remember reading something about it. But I think Leonardo DiCaprio has the rights to the Akira movie.
What?
Yeah, like, and he's had it since like the 90s.
Weird.
Yeah, so like be
great if he would make it.
No, it's true. And so, and like, because they're working on the live action movie, apparently it's set to film in California. What the heck? That is crazy. But yeah, so I was right about that. So apparently he's had the rights to the Akira live action film since the 90s or something. It's like, why does Leonardo DiCaprio have that, you know? Like,
that's really weird.
But anyway.
Maybe he was just a big fan or something. He's like, I could do that movie good. He's like, I better buy the rights to it.
Yeah, right? Anyways, So this is by way of Haley Williams. I guess she gave up
What?
her music career to work at GameSpot.
Okay.
She says, months after its initial release, Nintendo's free-to-play Mario Kart Tour for mobile finally has a release date for its multiplayer. Currently, you can add friends, but not race them. And the multiplayer option in the menu is grayed out. This will all change on March 8th when multiplayer arrives to the game.
Hey, maybe it'll be worth playing at that point, finally.
Maybe so. Mario Kart Tour will be introducing multiple levels of competitiveness with different ways to race against other people and up to 8 players per race. The most casual level lets you race online with friends or with people who are nearby. In this game mode, you can set rules like speed and item slot number. The more competitive game modes will have you racing with other players online with a set of rules dictated by the game that will change daily. Because this is a free-to-play game with aggressive monetization, there will also be a premium gold race open only to MKT Gold's Pass subscribers.
Of course there will be.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of cool though. I mean, honestly, like I got burned down on it just because, like, you know, racing NPCs is like only so fun for so long. You know what I mean?
Especially when the race is just swipe right, swipe left.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a problem with the control scheme for the game. I enjoy how it feels, but I just think it'd be more fun if you actually had real people to compete with, you know? I don't know. I'm excited to see how it feels with multiplayer, you know?
Yeah.
I'll probably have to re-download it, though.
Same.
Let's see. Okay. All right. Hinterland Studios, the developer behind the survival game The Long Dark, has pulled the game from NVIDIA GeForce Now because the streaming service never asked for the studio's permission to host it in the first place. The Long Dark is just the latest game to be removed from the service. Game director Raphael van Leeuwenhoek explained the decision on Twitter, saying, "Sorry to those who are disappointed you can no longer play The Long Dark on GeForce Now. NVIDIA didn't ask our permission to put the game on the platform, so we asked them to remove it. Please take your complaints to them, not us. Devs should control where their games exist." NVIDIA admitted that they made a mistake releasing without our permission, apologized, asked us if we'd like to stay on the platform, and we said not at the moment, Van Leeuwenhoek continued. Today's world is getting complex for devs, with lots of platform changes and shifts to streaming. So devs have to be able to plan a strategy for how their games will appear and where. As a means of running a business, all the platforms acknowledge this. The decision was an oversight on NVIDIA's part, and Van Leeuwenhoek says The Long Dark might return to GeForce Now in the future. However, the director admits that controlling your own content is key to running a sustainable business and supporting games and their customers.
What that sounds like to me is that they didn't offer enough money. So, yeah, until they come back and they're like, look, we'll pay you some good money.
Yeah, probably.
That's not going to happen.
That's just weird that they were just, like, using it without their permission. Like,
yeah, I was like, that seems like a good way to get sued.
They won't even notice, bro. Just go ahead.
Yeah, that's a really quick way to get sued. Anyways, Jeffrey Lerman at IGN says, after 13 years working on the Call of Duty Zombies mode, co-creator Jason Blundell has announced his departure from Treyarch. The Treyarch Twitter account posted a short statement from Blundell about his departure and thoughts looking back. Quote, "During my time at the studio, I've been privileged to work on a variety of projects, wearing many hats along the way, with my time on the Zombies team proving to be quite special." Blundell wrote, "Clearly, I'd be remiss if I didn't personally thank the group that continues to make it all worth it. The Zombies community, your passion, enthusiasm, and frankly, your craziness has been a continued source of inspiration. The beauty of Zombies is that it has always been about the interaction between us as developers and one of the most passionate player communities on the planet. These are memories I will cherish for a lifetime." Blundell first started at Treyarch back in 2006 as a producer on Call of Duty 3. Blundell's career spans across 7 different Call of Duty games. His work on the Zombies mode in the Call of Duty franchise started immediately with Call of Duty World at War. However, Blundell's Zombies career truly took off in November 2016 when he became the co-studio head of Treyarch. It's unknown where Blundell is headed next and whether or not that includes game development.
Man, that's kind of sad. You know, the Zombies has always been a big part of my, you know,
Call of Duty experience.
Yeah, exactly. If not the biggest part of my Call of Duty experience, I would almost buy those games just to play the zombies.
Yeah, I wonder what that means for zombies. I wonder if that means they're gonna just continue it without him, or I imagine, though he's been, a big part of it, it's not like they couldn't do it without him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my question is, if they do it without him, is it going to turn into this, watered down version of zombies like Infinity Ward did with, Advanced Warfare? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or is it going to continue to be the polished, Treyarch zombies that we know and love? Yeah. I don't know.
And why is he stepping out? Where's he going? We want to know these things.
Yeah. Well, I hope he is doing all right. I hope he finds his way in the gaming industry.
Yes. Good luck to you, Blundell.
Yeah.
Anyways, what you got?
Okay. As teased, the Pokemon Company has revealed a new mythical Pokemon for Sword and Shield. As part of its Pokemon Day celebration, the new Pokemon is called Zarude, and it'll play a major role in the upcoming Pokemon movie Coco, which premieres in Japan later this year. Zarude is known as the Rogue Monkey Pokemon. It's a dark grass-type Pokemon with the ability Leaf Guard, which prevents it from being inflicted by status conditions when the weather on the battlefield is sunny. According to the Pokemon website, Zarude is able to grow vines from its wrists, neck, and feet. And
sounds like torture.
Right? And can use these to battle or treat wounds thanks to the vine's healing properties.
So he's made of aloe.
Aloemon.
Yeah, I don't know. This is probably one of the lamest Pokemon designs I've ever seen.
He's alright, but I mean, for a mythical Pokemon?
Yeah, it's really whack. But, I thought somebody had made, a fake, Pokemon design, and it was just, trending on Twitter when I first saw it. But they announced him on the same day that they announced the winner for the Pokemon of the Year, voting thing.
Who won Pokemon of the Year?
I don't even remember because it didn't matter because Gengar didn't win.
Oh.
So Gengar was number 10. He's voted number 10 out of
I want to know who won. Hang on, I'm going to look up who won.
Yeah, you look that up.
Continue to read.
I just saw that I just put shaders on. I didn't care anymore, But it just shows how many fake Pokemon trainers are out there. No, I'm just kidding. Who won Pokemon of the Year?
Oh, man, let's see. Greninja, I think.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Greninja.
Yeah, it was Greninja.
Greninja. That's fine. Greninja's cool and all, but...
what else?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough out there for the real ones. He beat out
Lucario, dog, and Umbreon. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think those people just played Smash Brothers, and they're like, "Oh, he's cool." Anyways, Matt Kim at IGN says the Game Developers Conference, or GDC, is canceled. Sources tell IGN, with the show's organizers now confirming it as a postponement to a later planned date. Two developers familiar with GDC's plans told IGN of a planned cancellation ahead of the official GDC announcement, which reads, quote, after close consultation with our partners in the game development industry and community around the world, we've made the difficult decision to postpone the Game Developers Conference this March. Having spent the past year preparing for the show with our advisory board speakers, exhibitors, and event planners, we're genuinely upset and disappointed not to be able to host you at this time. The official statement goes on to indicate that the organizers fully intend to host a GDC event later in the summer. However, it is unclear what the size or scope of that show is intended to be in comparison to the show canceled one, or to the now canceled one. Quote, we will be working with our partners to finalize the details and will share more information about our plans in the coming weeks, the statement continued.
Damn.
Yeah, it's over.
That's over. At least until the summer when they do the other one. But that's still pretty cool.
Yeah, coronavirus is killing the gaming industry one day at a time.
It's killing all the industries. This is pretty serious business, man. You hear they shut down Disney World in Japan?
Damn.
Yeah.
They're shutting down Happiness?
Dude, imagine how much money Disney is losing by shutting down one of its Disney parks. Two of its Disney parks. Fuck, dude. That's probably a fucking lot of cash.
Yeah, dude. Coronavirus don't care.
Not at all, dude. Okay. It's a big week for Call of Duty Mobile, as the game's newest season has begun, ushering in a new battle pass along with a new map and character. Starting with the new character, John Soap McTavish has been added into the game. And the only way to get him is through the new Disavowed Battle Pass.
Disavowed.
There is also a new score streak called Hive. This streak grants players a weapon that shoots proximity mines that, when triggered, release a bunch of nano drones that kill enemies in the area. The new multiplayer map is called Cage, and it's available now in all ranked modes. The Close Quarters map is noteworthy because it's the first map in Call of Duty Mobile that was made specifically for the game. The rest are borrowed from console/PC games. Additionally, everyone who logs into Call of Duty Mobile on March 1st will receive a special reward and in-game events that players can participate in to earn extra gear, though the specifics were not shared. So that's pretty cool. I like that they're making their own levels now. You know what I mean? I love all the rehashed levels, but I think it's cool to get some new content since it's a pretty good game, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, go ahead.
So this is by way of Joe Screbbles at IGN. He says, the Monster Hunter movie has 2 new teaser posters, and we can exclusively reveal them on IGN. That's us, me and Brent at IGN. No, it's from the article. But the posters show stars Tony Jaa and Mia Jovovich, respectively, each holding weaponry drawn from the game series. Jaa, who plays the hunter, is holding the Great Hunter's Bow. Jovovich, playing Lieutenant Artemis, totes a great sword, the giant Jawblade. The desert setting therein is based on the look of Monster Hunter World's Wild Spire Waste area. If you want one for yourself and you find yourself in Boston, Massachusetts, both posters will be given out in miniature form at the Monster Hunter Festa event taking place at PAX East on Saturday, February 29th. Directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, known for Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, and Event Horizon. All of those sound horrible. The movie will alter. I wonder, whenever they say Mortal Kombat, did he do like the 90s like Mortal Kombat movie?
I don't know. If he did, then props to him because I love those movies, but fuck the Resident Evil movies. That whole series, dude. And honestly,
so bad.
I can't see this movie being any better. Like, I am not hyped about this at all. Like, just because of that director. Like, I would be a little...
And Mia Jovovich. Like,
oh, dude.
How are you going to just keep hiring your wife to be like the main character?
Don't let Mia Jovovich fuck up any more of my video game movies. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want that bitch in my video game movies whatsoever.
Super Mario Brothers, the movie, brought to you by Paul W.S. Anderson. Mia Jovovich as Mario.
Oh, God. That would be so bad.
Yeah. The movie will alter the normal Monster Hunter storyline somewhat for the big screen. Artemis and her unit...
It's going to alter the fuck out of it. Just like it did with Resident Evil. It's not even going to be Monster Hunter anymore. It's just going to be like that shit. It's going to be Mia Jovovich with a big sword. She's not even going to be fighting monsters. She's going to be fighting like the government or some shit. I don't know. It's going to be stupid, dude.
Yeah, I don't get why he wants to just like completely destroy everything that we care about.
That's my thing. Like, why do you gotta fuck up the source material so bad? Like, especially with Resident Evil. There's so much to go on in Resident Evil. Like, you don't have to like ruin the story to make a movie. I don't know.
I think he's just a little cocky. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a little too cocky with what he's doing. But you go ahead. I'm out of news. I'm also gonna look and see if he directed the original, like Mortal Kombat movies.
Yeah, definitely need to know about that. Okay, Halo the Master Chief Collection continues to expand and improve with new updates, including a substantial upgrade to the audio design of one game in the collection. Currently, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary supports only the updated audio for multiplayer, not classic sounds. This has bugged some players, and the 343 Industries has now confirmed it will add the classic Halo Combat Evolved sounds to multiplayer soon. So that's cool.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, we talked about Jason Blundell. That's sad. We talked about the coronavirus.
So he did do the OG Mortal Kombat movies, and he directed Alien versus Predator.
Oh, that's another one I didn't hate so much. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He's got a couple movies I don't hate. Maybe I'll
From years and years ago, before he was married to Mia Jovovich.
So I'm really just blaming Mia Jovovich for all of this, to be honest with you.
Me too.
Let's see. Even though Team Ninja's sequel to 2017's Neo is only 2 weeks away, this weekend you'll have the chance to get one last taste of glorious yokai-killing action before launch. The new demo for Neo 2, dubbed The Last Chance Trial, is now available to download on PS4. The demo includes 3 massive stages for you to wreak holy samurai havoc, a new morphing scythe weapon called the Switchglaive, as well as access to the character creator. While your progress in the demo won't carry over to the full game, your custom character will. In addition, beating the demo will get you the Katatachi helmet for the use in the full game. So, be hyped.
So hyped. The Katatachi.
Let's see. Okay, this is a long article, but I'll skip most of it. Basically, Resident Evil 3 is going to be leaving out one of the features from the original Resident Evil 3 where you got to make decisions that would, like, affect the outcome of the game, and thus is, like, not going to have multiple endings like the original Resident Evil 3. So that's kind of a bummer, but I still expect it to be really good, you know. We'll see. Let's see. The follow-up to the Dark Pictures Man of Medan was first glanced after that game's credits, where we got our first teaser trailer for A Little Hope. Now we have a better idea of when this next episode will arrive, and it won't be as long a wait as it was for Man of Medan. Little Hope will release in summer 2020, effectively meaning we can expect it sometime between June and August. So that's cool.
I guess, yeah. Do you even remember anything about the other one?
The Man of Medan?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I guess it's an anthology.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with it, yeah. But I'm excited. I love that kind of gameplay. So, and with Telltale being down, it's like I've just been not getting my fix lately. Let's see. Developer Endemic Creations has announced that Plague Inc. has been removed from sale on the China App Store. The Cyberspace Administration of China determined that the strategy game includes content that is illegal in China.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What is illegal in this game, China?
All the coronavirus, probably. Back in January, sales of the 8-year-old game skyrocketed in China as players began using it to get a better understanding of how disease spread in the wake of COVID-19 outbreak. More commonly known as coronavirus, Plague Inc. is a real-time strategy game that tasks you with creating and evolving a deadly pathogen that can wipe out humanity before the world's top scientists are able to devise a cure. Its authenticity and educational importance has frequently been recognized by health organizations like the CDC.
Wait, it has been recognized?
Yes.
What the heck? I thought this was the one that, like...
Well, they were like, they were saying, like, don't use this as your, like, source of information, but it has been critically acclaimed by, like...
Wow. By the critics over at CDC.
Like, before all this, like, coronavirus shit was going on, it was getting a lot of, like, you know... Everybody, all the, like, authorities were like, oh, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
China's like, this is illegal. There are facts in this game. Illegal.
Dude, that's pretty much it. Let's see. Oh, there's a hot coffee mod in Red Dead Redemption 2 now, and Take-Two Interactive is pissed off about it, and they're, like, threatening the mod maker who made it. But apparently he used, like, assets from the game that were, like, already in the game to make the mod. So he's kind of arguing, like, oh, you can't make me take it down because I didn't technically break any rules. So you might want to get on that if you want to try out the hot coffee mod before it is gone for good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, sad news here. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. It's a cheat code etched into the DNA of an entire generation of gamers.
The Konami code.
From Contra on down. The man behind the code, Kazu... Oh my gosh. Kazu... How do you say this?
Let me see. I will attempt it. I will use my vast knowledge of the Japanese language.
I should know this, but...
Kazuhisa Hashimoto.
Oh, you're so good at Japanese, bro.
I probably just butchered the shit out of it.
It sounded right. Has died at the age of 61. His passing was first reported by Yuji Takanouchi, a sound designer who worked on several Konami games, including the much lauded Metal Gear series. We are saddened to hear about the passing of Kazuhisa Hashimoto, a deeply talented producer who first introduced the world to the Konami code. Our thoughts are with Hashimoto-san's family and friends at this time. Rest in peace.
Sad. An era gone.
And here is one we kind of talked about on Save Slot podcast the other day, but we didn't really go into. Asgard's Wrath is one of the most impressive games on the Oculus Rift, and Facebook appears to have great confidence in developer Sanzaru Games. Facebook purchased Sanzaru, making it part of Oculus Studios, where it will continue to work on unannounced VR projects. The announcement was made on the official Oculus blog, where Director of Content Mike Verdu said Sanzaru's deep experience with VR and Oculus platforms gives it the ability to readily explore a future of rich and immersive VR content. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, these headphones, man. Anyways, that's all you got for the news?
Yeah, that's the news right there.
Sweet. That's all I have for the news as well. We're going to jump on over to this week's releases, where I'm going to let you guys know what brand new games you can grab in the next 7 days. Starting with Murder by Numbers, coming to Switch and PC on March 5th and March 6th, respectively, for $14.99. Los Angeles...
Coming on both days?
No, for Switch and PC.
Oh, okay.
So, Switch, it's coming March 6th.
We're putting it out twice, motherfuckers.
Respectively. No, but anyways, Los Angeles, 1996. Honor Mizrahi was just an actress on a hit TV detective show. But when her boss ends up dead just minutes after he fires her, she finds herself starring in her own murder mystery. Teaming up with Scout, a reconnaissance robot thrown away after a mysterious incident, she sets out to clear her name, and a new detective duo is born. Investigate a range of murders across TV studios, glitzy award shows, drag clubs, and more, all set to an energetic soundtrack from famed composer Masakazu Sugimori. From Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, and Ghost Trick, and Beautiful Joe. Uncover a dark conspiracy for interrogating a wild range of weird and wonderful characters designed by the incomparable Hato Moa, creator of Hato Full Boyfriend. 90s fashions, upbeat jams, sass dialed up to 100, questionable jokes, drag queens, all that and more awaits in Murder by Numbers. Okay.
That doesn't sound terrible. I'll fucks with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does sound a little next level. Anyways, Pathologic 2 is coming to PS4 on March 6th for $34.99. Pathologic 2 is an open-world survival thriller set in a town that's being consumed by a deadly plague. Face the realities of a collapsing society as you make difficult choices and seemingly lose-lose situations. The plague isn't just a disease. You can't save everyone. Get to know it, winning the affection of the locals and gaining allies to try to carve your own path alone. Explore the town, its inhabitants, and their traditions. Fight both the plague itself and its victims. Try to make a difference before the time runs out.
Fight the victims. You're just punching these plague victims in the face, just like...
Figure out who killed your father while fighting a deadly plague. It's up to you to assume his mantle of the town's chief medic. Find your alleged twin sister. Was she the one who had brought the plague to the town? What does this even mean? What is this game even about?
I don't know. I know that it's a port of a game that was already out. So it's not like a new game. No. It's been out and it's getting ported to Switch or something.
Okay. I think it's on Game Pass even, I think.
Oh, yeah, it is on Game Pass.
But this doesn't make me want to try it.
No.
Anyways, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX is coming to Switch on March 6th for $59.99. In Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, you can meet and recruit Pokemon in a dungeon-crawling adventure within their world. This brand new version of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team saga combines both Red Rescue Team and Blue Rescue Team while adding gorgeous watercolor-inspired graphics and more. Build a rescue team to take on mysterious, changing dungeons and strategically plan your moves as you venture forth to make the Pokemon world a safer place and uncover your true purpose along the way. Then we got Yes, Your Grace, coming to PC on March 6th. Couldn't find a price for this game, but in the Kingdom Management RPG, Yes, Your Grace, petitioners will arrive in the throne room each turn to ask your ask your advice and assistance. The game tells a tale of Davern, a medieval kingdom ruled by King Eric. The game is set in a fictional world where monsters and arcane practices inspired by Slavic folklore are the order of the day. Villagers will ask for your help with various problems, from monsters attacking the village to a lack of places to relax and enjoy themselves. Some will bring humor to your throne room, and some will present you with difficult choices. Your family is important too, and throughout your time as king, you will have to support them in their struggles, decide whether to help them with their problems or to conserve resources for more important matters. Remember, supplies are limited, and not everyone has the kingdom's best interests at heart. Then we got Afterparty coming to Switch on March 6th for $19.99. This game is also on Game Pass. And Afterparty, you are Milo and Lola, recently deceased best buds who suddenly find themselves staring down an eternity in hell. Oh, sounds like something that's probably going to happen to us. But there's a loophole. Outdrink Satan, and he'll grant you re-entry to Earth. What adventures will you stumble through in the underworld? Every step is up to you. Time to go on the best bender ever. Uncover the mystery of why you've been damned and drink the big guy under the table. It won't be a mystery. Dreadlands PC is coming March 10th. Couldn't find a price. Dreadlands is a turn-based skirmish strategy game in a shared world where you battle for the valuable resource of glonithium, or glow for short. Oh, glonithium. Explore the lush world in Dreadlands by traveling across its many regions with your misfit gang of miscreants and mercenaries in this living post-apocalyptic shared world. Players frequently encounter and interact with each other. Danger lurks around every corner as they sometimes cooperate in PvE, and other times they pick fights in bloody PvP.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the games this week.
All right.
Or that are coming out in the next 7 days. But before we move on to the topic of the show, we have the games with gold, and you got the PlayStation games.
I do.
Okay, so the games with gold this month is for the Xbox One. You're getting Batman: The Enemy Within.
Oh, that's a good game.
Yeah, it's coming March 1st through the 31st, so that's already there for you.
The only problem with that is it's like the second game in the Batman Telltale series, so you kind of want to play like the first one first.
Yeah,
but,
that is weird.
Yeah, either way. Yeah.
And then we got Shantae, Half Genie Hero, coming March 16th through April 15th.
I'm pretty sure all the Shantae games are on Game Pass right now, so it's like
whack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for the Xbox 360/1 games, you got Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 coming from March 1st through the 15th, and then Sonic Generations from March 16th through the 31st.
So
all
Sonic-y kind of month this month. For PlayStation, you're getting Sonic Forces, which is like, so you get like hella Sonic if you got both consoles.
Yeah.
And we're getting the big one. We're getting Shadow of the Colossus remake for free. So that's really cool.
Nice. I think the Sonic thing is just because the movie is doing so well.
Yeah, for sure. It's probably a good time to put those games for free.
And they're like, if people, get like PSN or like Xbox Live, like this will be a reason that like kids will jump on to it. They'll tell their parents like, "Ooh, I get the game for free if I pay for a month of this or whatever."
Totally.
Smart
stuff.
Anyways, let's jump into currently playing. I'm going to be real with you this week. Well, currently playing, we're just going to let you know what we've been playing this week. If you guys want to let us know what you've been playing, you can jump on over in the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/GameSpeakPodcast and let us know there. Or you can just type it in the comments on YouTube or wherever the hell you're watching or listening to this.
Yeah.
And we will talk to you about what you've been playing. But I was so sick and I was just busy all week
I forgot you had the CV, dude.
I did have a COVID-19 fact. No, I'm just kidding. No.
We're gonna get censored in China, dude.
I'm already illegal in China. But so I played more Descenders. I've been having a jam with this game.
Hey,
dude.
I think as long as you're having fun with it, this is the longest I've heard you playing a game for a while, And just the fact that you're enjoying it so much really makes me want to go try it. I always forget. I've got so much I've been playing at home that I just forgot to try it,
Dude, it's fun. What I've been doing though is I the soundtrack on it, you can tell they couldn't get any cool license music that I care about at least. So what I've been doing is just putting it on random playlists on Spotify and just turning the volume off on the game or the music off and just playing it like that. So I've just been jamming some old Kid Cudi and shit and just going downhill and stuff and playing through the career mode. I also tried out Jackbox Party Pack 3, which came to Game Pass.
Dude, oh sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's this game called Big Screen on VR where you it puts you in a movie theater with other people who are also in VR in the same movie theater. But I got in a room the other day where they had the Jackbox game playing on the big screen, and then when you jump in the lobby, you can join in the game with your phone.
With your phone.
So we were all playing this game remotely in this virtual reality movie theater together. It was so much fun.
It's tight, dude. I love the Jackbox Party Pack games. Were y'all playing the murder trivia?
Oh, it was I think something like that. It was a trivia game. I don't know about murders. It was just general trivia.
Yeah, the one I've been playing is you're trying to survive. A serial killer is making you play trivia. If you lose, he's gonna kill you or whatever.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's really tight. And, the serial killer voice acting is really funny. He's just super sassy and I don't know. It's a fun game, but I've been playing that, and then that's about it this week. I just didn't really have the time to get into any new games.
Oh, that's real. I haven't been playing as much lately just because I've been reading those Lock and Key books with all my free time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I did have a little time. I finished The Evil Within finally. I really enjoyed it. A lot of people were disappointed with the story. It wasn't the best story I've ever been told, but I didn't hate it. You know what I mean? It was basically just Inception, the horror movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you don't ever get the story. They don't finish the story.
I mean, you get the story. You just have a little section missing. You know what I mean? With that lady, her whole journey. You know what I mean? But you get his story for the most part. I kind of got it.
I didn't. I was like, what just happened? I really didn't understand really what happened.
Basically, you were in the Ruvik's mind the whole time.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't get why though. None of it made sense to me. It's almost who is the kid?
It's like Inception, dog.
Yeah, but who was the kid?
The kid was Ruvik's psyche, I think. Okay. So, they're in his brain, and I think the kid represented Ruvik as a child or something, and he was, Ruvik's
his
innocence or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Guess.
There was more to it. I definitely... It was weird, and I think that's why she was trying to, kill the kid, because I think the kid, if she killed him, then it would shut down the whole thing. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't mind playing through the DLC, but the DLC is $10, and... Honestly, I think I'll probably just move on to the sequel.
Just skip
Evil
over
Within
that.
2. Yeah, I feel like I know enough about the events of the first game to where I'm cool with just ending it right here and moving on to the second one. Mainly because I feel like the second one's going to have slightly better graphics, and that makes me excited.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the first one had really good graphics.
For
but,
sure. The second one supposedly is way more paranormal.
Really?
Yeah.
More paranormal?
Like, yeah, like it's actually paranormal.
Like the city's like moving around and shit. How much more paranormal can you
Yeah,
get?
but if it's Inception, it's not actually happening.
Yeah, good point. Okay.
You know?
That's exciting. I don't know. I really liked the first game. I hope the second game has the same kind of like combat and stuff, because that's really what I care about. Like,
Yeah.
I think that like the combat and like the ammo management, it felt like when I finished the game, it felt like when I beat Resident Evil 4. You know what I mean? That's how I felt about it. And it kind of had the same, like, a little bit of an Assassin's Creed vibe mixed in there, too, with, like, the Animus and, like, the whole part at the end where you're, like, Desmond, like, running through the office, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But I had a lot of fun with that, and I'll probably jump in the second one pretty soon. I also played a VR game called Free Diver Triton Down. This is one of the best VR games I've ever played, dude. It's so fucking sick, dude.
What's so cool about it?
Okay, so, like, the game itself is basically, like, it starts you out in the demo, right? And you're, like, swimming, and you're, like, free diving, you know? Like, swimming with no tank or whatever. So you, like, swim through the ocean, and you, like, do your hands like this to, like, do motion, like, to move yourself through the water, you know? And you, like, are exploring, and you find this, like, artifact thing, and then you're, like, back on the ship taking it back or whatever, and then, like, a big wave hits your ship, and the ship flips over and, like, goes to the bottom of the ocean. And the whole game is you, in VR, swimming through this ship, trying to get out of this upside-down ship that's, like, flooding with water. It is so fucking intense and dope. Like, it is one of the coolest ideas for a VR game. Like, you grab onto stuff and, like, pull yourself through the water, and, like, you're climbing ladders and, like, trying to pull yourself up to, like, air pockets to get, like, a breath while the water is, like, rising up above your chin and stuff. Like, there were times when I was, like, legitimately panicking, like, trying to find, like, an air bubble or something, you know, like, to get some... It was, like, really, really cool. And this is the Quest version of, like, a PC game that is apparently the same game, just with better graphics. So I'm really excited to play. I'm going to buy this game again when I get the PC and play through it again. It's so good. It's so good. It's only, like, 2 hours. It's, like, the length of, like, a movie or something. But, dude, it is, like, intense, man. Like, you're in these, like...
intense.
You got, like, a flashlight, and you're, like, swimming through these, like, dark corridors and, like, going up, like, upside down staircases and shit. It's, like, really, really cool. Like,
that sounds tight. The only thing that could make it worse is if there were living creatures.
I was about to say, the whole time in the game, I was, like, expecting, like, a shark to bust in and eat me, but I think they wanted to go for, like, a realistic kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, like, realistic. I mean, like,
sharks are always busting in and eating everybody.
I don't know. I just feel like the terror of, like, running out of oxygen was enough of a gameplay mechanic to, like, keep it interesting. And I think the fact that it was so short kept it really good, you know? I don't know. It's one of my favorite VR games I've ever played. Like, and there's not a lot of replay value or anything, but I only paid, like, $15 for it. It's, like, so good, dude. Like, if you have an Oculus Quest, like, it's a must-have for sure.
Nice.
And, of course, I played the Final Fantasy VII demo that just came out. It's really, really cool. It's basically just that first level where you, like, go through and you fight the boss spider robot thing, and then you escape. Yeah. It lets you play through that whole part. It's really neat, and, like, the graphics are beautiful. I don't know. I'm really excited about the full game. I wish it wasn't broken up into segments, but I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing something that they were saying that they think that this first one is only going to be 20 hours.
Only 20 hours?
Well, I mean, like, for the part, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Like, and depending on how many parts they break it into, I think it's going to be like 100-hour, like, full game probably, you know?
I just hope they don't, like, take forever to put, like, I hope once they start putting them out, it's not just like, okay, 10 years later, till the next one, yeah. Because, like, I'm cool with them breaking it into parts. I just don't want to have to wait, like multiple years between parts. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Like, a part a year, I'd be cool with that. You know what I mean?
I feel like they have to do it that quickly.
Yeah.
Or they're going to start getting a lot of backlash from people.
Mm-hmm. Or they're going to stop selling as well around part 2 or 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because people won't remember, you know? But, yeah, so that's all you've been playing?
Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
It's not enough. No, I'm just kidding. No, but that's what we've been currently playing. We're going to jump on over to the topic of the show today. We were lucky enough to have a cool dude come on and let us interview him about his book series. So you guys enjoy. We are here with Patrick Hickey Jr. today, guys. He is the creator of the Minds Behind the Games book series, and he's also he's working in games. I don't want to say he's a game developer. He's a game writer and producer, and also a voice actor. And he's got a lot of stuff going on. He's got a lot of accolades. We'll let him talk to you about it. Tell us about it.
What's up, guys? My name is Patrick Hickey Jr. I am the author of the Minds Behind the Games book series. I am also a voice actor and a college professor and a husband, a father, and a cancer that likes long walks along the beach.
Oh, like that.
I thought you were about to say a cancer survivor. I was
No.
damn, another notch on the resume, Bill.
Now, the only other cool thing that I could say that's like happened is I've lost like 140 pounds over the last like year. So aside from that, like, yeah, that's kind of like the other. Like,
that's really cool, actually.
Yeah, my wife stopped feeding me, so like I didn't have.
Jamel's a personal trainer, so he does a lot of like.
There you go.
So I'll take the credit for that.
Yeah, Jamel gets the credit for that.
We talked one time, and he lost 140
pounds. That's what happened. He just changed my life forever. Like, it's just amazing.
No,
it's like Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley all rolled up into one. You know.
Yeah, man. So tell us about your book series. We have seen the first one's the Minds Behind the Games, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then you have sports games.
Well, no, then I have the Minds Behind the Adventure games, and that just came out in December. And then the Minds Behind the Sports games is coming out in June or July. Okay. And then the Minds Behind the Shooter games is coming out probably like in December or January. And then I just signed the contract for the Minds Behind the Sega Genesis game. So all of these books aim to tell the behind-the-scenes stories of your favorite and sometimes not so favorite video games, talking about the creative process, the relationship between the developer and the publisher, all the things that you wanted to know about the game, just didn't know, or sometimes the things that you wanted to know, but you didn't even know you wanted to know. So my aim is to do as thorough and as fun an interview as possible to just find out as much information about each of the games featured as possible. I mean, because like, let's be honest, like YouTube is great for behind the scenes stories, but some of those interviews and some of those videos aren't based on any factual data. So I don't use Wikipedia. I don't use like any of these like, conspiracy sites or whatever. I go straight to the source. I find these people and I get them to tell me their story.
Awesome. Yeah. No Alex Jones in these books.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty excited to see what kind of shooter games did you get? We actually have already interviewed you, but we had a technical issue there. But
a technical issue.
A
Yeah.
little behind the scenes for those of you at home,
Yeah. So one thing
we did an awesome interview. I have to say, you guys were awesome.
I'm so sad that our first interview is gone and that the general public will never get to hear it, because I feel like it's one of our best interviews we've ever done.
It was good stuff.
It just disintegrated into the air,
That's
just to make people feel good, because if it was bad, like I've had the longest day ever, and like I totally would love to just sit on my ass and play Hot Shots golf right now. But you guys were so good that like I had to come back. So
I appreciate that, man.
So,
yeah. This will be the tribute to the greatest.
I was thinking that. That's what this feels like.
So what I'll do to make this sexier is I will give you guys an exclusive. I will share the complete list of titles for the Minds Behind the Shooter games.
Ooh,
I like that.
Okay.
Yes, please.
All right, so we got Revolution X, Loaded, Turok the Dinosaur Hunter, Turn and Burn No Fly Zone, Gears of War, River Raid 2, Wolfenstein 3D, Mega Mania, Tower of Guns, The Suffering, Ties That Bind, Chiller, South Park, War Jets, The Darkness, Zeo Drifter, Horizon Shift 81, Phoenix, 1, Mercenary, Playground of Destruction, Metroid Prime, Quadrun, Power Slave, Sinistar, Scarface, Halo 3, Jumping Flash, Area 51, Dusk, Star Fox, Dementium 2, Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Medal of Honor, Red Dead Revolver, Super Mega Space Blaster Special, and Soldier of Fortune.
Oh, dang. You got that Soldier of Fortune in there.
So I'm assuming you already have like a person lined up to talk to, or you've already talked to a person from each of these games. Like...
Oh, it's written already. So like my manuscript isn't due until like the middle of April, but I'm finished. So there's a couple of other games that haven't been confirmed yet that I can't share yet. So there's 3 other games, and they're like pretty iconic. 2 of them are pretty iconic. One is a mobile shooter, but it's pretty cool because like I mean, there's so many of those like crappy mobile shooters out, like those sniper games and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I always wondered how those games were like even made, you know. But this one is actually a good one. So I kind of like reached out to those guys, and I wanted to find out, you know, what it's like to develop a game knowing that you're going to sell it for free and on the iPhone, and how does it make money? How do you like these games get lost on the App Store? So how do you create something that's been around for 3 years and is still being downloaded? So things like that. So
there's some serious gems in there too. You got like The Suffering. That's one of those like forgotten great games.
That's my guy too, man. Richard Rouse III, which like first off, that's like the coolest name in the world, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
He's one of the smartest developers I've ever met, and he also just did The Church in the Darkness on the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. It's an indie game. It kind of like takes you inside like Jonestown, basically, like inside like a cult, and you have to like kind of find your way out and escape. It's like a really cool game that's like totally like if you like the narrative of the suffering, yeah. But it's action based. It's really cool though.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
So that's kind of like that's the lineup for the Minds Behind the Shooter games, and I've actually got I'm currently like just editing and cleaning up the Minds Behind the Shooter games, and I'm working primarily right now on the Minds Behind the Sega Genesis games, and I have 20 games already confirmed for that one, and that's coming along like really super well too.
So that game's more under construction still, that book, the Sega Genesis one.
Yeah, the Sega Genesis book is still like under construction, and I still have plenty of time for that one. But like some of the games, like just like right off the bat, like Lion King, Dungeons and Dragons, Warriors of the Eternal Sun, Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing, Mortal Kombat 3, Spider-Man, X-Men 2, Clones Wars, Skitchin, Primal Rage, General Chaos, Pit Fighter, Hard Driving. So there's a lot of really cool Genesis games in there too.
In your books, though, how do you separate each of these stories? Like, is it chapter by chapter, or is this like they get like a page? You know? No,
like... so that's the thing. So like, there's a lot of books out there that are like, 100 games you must play by the time you die, and it's like a 100-page book, and it's like 1 page on each game.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It does.
Nobody wants to read that, you know? So what I do is I sit down with the developer, I have them tell me their story, and however long it takes. So like the Night Trap chapter in my first book is like 7,000 words. So it's like a 20-page chapter. It's beefy, you know? And then like NBA Jam, I interviewed Mark Turmel for NBA Jam in the first book, and that's like 2,500 words. So that's like 7 pages. So some are shorter, some are longer, but like they're all beefy, and they're all like full stories with cool anecdotes and things that like you wouldn't have known otherwise about the game. So like Night Trap was just like super immersive, and you found out all the things that went in to make this game, and it was just a huge effort by so many people. NBA Jam, like pretty much everyone knows the story behind NBA Jam, you know? So I asked him, I'm like, tell me stuff that people don't know. And he told me how like Shaquille O'Neal used to take the like a cabinet, NBA Jam cabinet on the road with him, and he would be betting like Penny Hardaway like $30,000 a game. Like they would be just playing.
What? That's baller.
Yeah, you know, and like he told me a story about WWF WrestleMania the arcade game, how like Undertaker wouldn't work unless they gave him booze, you know, and how Mr. Perfect was supposed to be in the game, but he never showed up like 3 times, you know. So all that's what I'm looking for, like really cool, interesting stories about the development process that aren't available on Wikipedia, that they haven't said anywhere else, like really fun, down to earth stories. So.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's some in-depth stuff that I'm looking for whenever it comes to my behind-the-scenes video games.
I feel like you've got a lot of talent just to be one person and go out and get all this information, like enough information for multiple books from all these people. You know, I don't know. That's just a serious skill on your part, you know?
Yeah, and so speaking of that skill, where did you get that skill from? All of your writing, you know, skill. Where is that from?
I don't know, to be honest. I come from a white trash family in Brooklyn, New York. I'm joking.
I was like, I can relate. I'm not the Brooklyn, New York part.
But I'm not at the same time. So like, I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college. I'm the first person I've never drank or smoked in my entire life. So, I mean, I don't hold anything against anybody that does, because, I mean, I've been in bands and things like that. I went through, like, my band phase, and everybody did everything except for me, you know, but...
we did the band thing, too, for a little bit.
It's fun. It's fun, man. Absolutely. You know, but I just... when I was, like, 18 or 19, I just realized that this was something that I wanted to do, and I got in a serious car accident, and so my first goal was I wanted to be a professional hockey player, and I'm 6'4", and I was like 225 pounds, so like I wanted to try and walk on to like a Division III or Division II hockey program upstate New York, and then I got in a car accident, so that wasn't going to happen, so I had to reinvent myself, and while I was recovering from the car accident, I just read a lot, and I played a lot of video games, and when I started school, I got into journalism, and it was just a great place for me to find myself. There was a college newspaper that like nobody gave a shit about, so I just went in there, and I was like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and Hollywood Hogan in the New World Order. I just went in and like spray painted the place up and took over, and just had a blast. And then I graduated from there, and I went to a 4-year college, and I did the same thing there. And then I started covering minor league hockey and minor league baseball. And then I started my own site and started reviewing video games and movies. And I started reaching out to developers and building relationships. And 10 years later, then I have the connections and the wherewithal to start doing the book. So it's just, everything is just scaffolding. Like every day I look at like my to-do list, and if I have like 5 or 6 things that I have to do, if I only get one thing done, I'm not pissed, because at least I got one thing done. So many people just waste away the entire day and they don't do shit. So it's like, for me, I just try and have positive momentum no matter how big or small every single day, and get something done towards my goals every single day. So when you're writing a book, I mean, I tell people this all the time. Like, my books are like 115,000 words. So it's like, if I write 300 words a day, I can write a book in a year. So I've written like the first 3 or 4 books in this series. I've written them in like 7 months. So if you do the math, I'm writing like, 600, 700 words a day. It's not a lot, but everyone calls me like this workhorse and stuff. It's just, I have my method down, my work style down, and I just make sure I get something done every single day. So it's not me being like super talented. It's just me being hyper focused and passionate about it, So talent always comes later, but focus and passion you can't teach. So
that's inspiring, man.
That really is. How many hours a day do you think you sit there and write, or do you like would it even be an hour? Like,
no, I'd probably write about 2 hours a day. Because it's like I run my own entertainment website, reviewfix.com. So like I cover like every single like pro wrestling show that's on TV. I cover.
I interview. You mentioned something kind of about sports journalism almost earlier. I was gonna say, do you still do that, or are you interested in that?
Not right now. I mean, I stopped covering professional hockey probably like 4 months before the first book came out, just because I saw that like I was building something and I wanted to like kind of take it through. Like I covered professional hockey for about 5 or 6 years. I covered professional baseball for a couple of years. Especially when I was at NBC, I covered 3 Super Bowls, 2 Olympics. I did a lot of entertainment writing for NBC too. I covered 2.5 seasons of Saturday Night Live. I had a fantasy football column for them. So, I mean, I've done a whole bunch of different things, but I'm always writing. Like, when the first interview ended, like just now with us, I checked my email and I had like answers from a Q&A. I just interviewed like a psychic,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow. That's really cool.
So like she just wrote a book and I just interviewed her. So it's just like every day I'm interviewing people and getting stuff done. Musicians, actors, producers, video game developers. So it's just like I'm constantly around creative people. So it kind of helps when you're trying to be creative.
No, that's a smart way to go about it, man. I feel like we're attempting the same thing. So where can people find your books at? Tell people, the best way to get their hands on these treasures of yours.
Yeah, sure. So the best place to buy the book is patrickhickeyjr.com/books. There you will get a signed book. Obviously, it'll be personalized. But then, like, I'm gonna ship the book out to you. So I'm gonna know where you live, And but I'll contact you and I'll have a conversation with you and we'll find out like what you're into. And I'll try and sneak in some goodies like football cards, baseball cards. Yeah, some really sneak in your window like having your back. All sorts of cool stuff like that. Like one of my friends, he's my friend now because he bought the first 2 books from me. He's a really nice guy. He's come to my speaking engagements and stuff, and he's a really big Doom fan. So another one of my buddies works at GameStop, and he gets all this like free swag and stuff. So I'm sure you guys know that like Doom Eternal has been delayed a whole bunch of times, and the guy from GameStop had a bunch of stickers that had the original release date on it. So I had like 50 of them. So I put 10 of those stickers with like the original like release date in his book. It like totally made his day, So
that's so cool.
All sorts of cool stuff like that I try and do to try and connect to people. But also the book's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Indigo, Books A Million, Walmart, Target, like wherever fine books are sold online, you can find them.
So we know you like writing about video games, but how about playing video games? Is there anything you're like excited about that's coming out? I know we just mentioned Doom Eternal. Is like Cyberpunk or anything grabbing your attention these days?
I'm definitely going to play Cyberpunk. I'm definitely going to play Doom. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's like my go-to. The NHL series and Pokemon and Fallout, those are like my 3 favorite series. Those are like kind of what I play. I just got a ROG 350 the other day. So I'm not sure if you guys know what that is, but it's like this really cool handheld that like emulates everything from like MAME to like PS1.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, it's really freaking cool. So I just like threw like waiting for you guys to come on Skype before I threw like Twisted Metal 2, NBA Shootout 98 and like Hot Shots Golf on there. So like just to play those is freaking super awesome. And I was playing King of the Monsters earlier today. So I play mostly now for research. It's kind of crazy. I try and explain that to my wife all the time. Like, no, this is research. So I've been playing a lot of Shadowrun.
That's what I tell everyone too.
So
I have like my game I play for the show that I'm like thinking about for the show, and then I have my game that I play for fun. My girlfriend's always like, "Oh, you play games all the time." I'm like, "That's not my fun game,"
Yeah, I would say like Pokemon and NHL are like my fun games, but then like everything else I play for like for research, and then it's hard too because like I'm married and I have a 3-year-old daughter and my wife is pregnant now, so it's just like there's not a lot of spare time. So I usually find myself playing on the bus and the train. That's why the Switch is so freaking awesome because you could just take it with you like wherever you want to go.
The Switch is amazing, bro.
Yeah.
I was gonna say just to round out the show, tell us your favorite game of all time.
Oof, I hate you.
Yeah. Everyone always gets pissed whenever we do that in an interview. We always end the interview with like the most ridiculous question.
Yeah, but that's a hard. Go ahead.
It's all right. You can give like your top 2 or 3. You don't have to narrow it down to just one.
Yeah.
We'll give you that crutch there.
So, wow. I'll do like 5. So like Fallout 3, such a great game. Got me through my first year teaching. I definitely would have killed the student if it wasn't for that game. Just like being able to go to the wasteland and just escape. Like, oh, so good. Pokemon Red and Blue, just those games move so slow today compared to like the games now. Like, I mean, Pokemon Sword and Shield, I love it, but I mean, they just like spoon feed people success. Mm-hmm. Like in order to have a great team in Red and Blue, you really had to work your ass off to get those guys to level 100. Even though they had like the cheat and stuff like that, the missing number hack and stuff like that. You still had to use the box trick, and you still had to like really work your team. So like Red and Blue just opened up a completely different world to me. RBI Baseball, first baseball game that I got to play with real players. Love the hell out of it. Probably one of the games that started me on my video game journey. Super Contra, definitely up there. Like one of the best couch co-op games of all time. I played the shit out of that with my father. Let's see, one more. The NHL series. So like from NHL hockey to like NHL PA 93, NHL 94, those three games were like the holy grail for me in terms of sports games. And like an honorable mention, WCW NWO Revenge. Oh, still awesome. Still an awesome wrestling game today. Some of those animations still hold up. It's so sexy.
Oh, yeah. Do you ever play any of the modern hockey games at all?
Yeah, I do. I play NHL 20 all the time. It's so funny because I have a nephew that's 17. And what we used to do is we used to call it the summer series. And what we would do is like every day during the summer, we would play like 3 or 4 games of NHL. And we would just keep tabs on who won. And I have like cleaned his clock for like 4 years straight. Like he's never like beaten me. But like I remember the first year it was like it was like 2014. So he was like 11. And man, it came down to like the last game, and what happened was we went to Virginia on vacation, and we took the PS4 with us, and my wife was so pissed because we were just inside. They were at the beach, and we were in the air conditioner playing. But so then I just basically said, I'm like, this is the last game we're playing. This is the end of it. And we were both like deadlocked at like 25 wins each, you know? And like the last game went into overtime, and I ended up beating him in overtime, and he got like so pissed off that like he slammed the door, and like the whole car ride home didn't say anything to me, and I was just like a hardcore dick, just like rubbing it in his face for like the last day that we were in Virginia, and the whole ride home I'm just like, you're a loser, you lost. You know, just oh man, it was great. I was calling him on his cell phone and texting him from the other room and asking him how it felt. Like, oh, it was so bad. But like that's the NHL series is just so much fun for me.
Yeah, I mean, that makes me look forward to Unclehood.
It's great.
I always just get into fights in that game. I just make them like fight on the ice. Like that's
oh yeah, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Patrick, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. We hope that everything goes well with your upcoming books, and we know that you're working on a game as well. If you want to mention that real quick,
yeah, we got to have you back on soon to talk about it. I wish we had more time because of all this mess up and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to just come on the show as a voice actor and just discuss like the Padre and Kroom. So the Padre is a survival horror game. It's currently available on Switch, on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and Steam. So I play the voice of the main character, Alexander, the priest walking through a dark mansion, trying to find out the mysteries of the place, you know. And it's kind of like
so good.
It's kind of like the spiritual successor to the Alone in the Dark series. It was developed by a Bulgarian developer called Shotguns with Glitters and published by Feardemic. Really cool, fun game, especially if you're into retro survival horror games. It's really cool. For Steam, it's like a point-and-click adventure, but it has tank controls for Xbox One, PS4, and Switch, so it's a little bit different on home consoles. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun working on that game. And then the game that I wrote the story for, and I'm the voice of the main character, is called Kroom, Kroom, and it's being developed by Orange Door Studios. It's a two-brother development team from Massachusetts. Pete Paquette, who's worked on Overwatch, Madden, Gladius, BioShock Infinite, Borderlands. Like the guy's he's awesome, and his brother Jeff, who's the engineer and the composer. So it's basically like imagine Legend of Zelda, okay, that type of top-down like action RPG, except okay, this is huge now, that like Link has a gun. Okay, and Link's sword isn't that pussy ass sword that like kind of shoots projectiles and stuff. Like this sword is kind of like something Strider would have. It's just this badass sword. So it's just this really fun, cool sci-fi like shooter. Like imagine like Cave Story meets like Legend of Zelda and Akari Warriors. Like that's kind of like how it plays. So it's a lot of fun. That's probably going to be out around spring 2021. working with those guys has been absolutely awesome. The game's going to totally kick ass.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you can go on croomgame.com and you can watch some videos, and there's some animated GIFs and stuff like that. So, like, it's really cool. We have a Instagram page too on there, Orange Door Bros. You could check out some of the concept art, and you could watch some of the gameplay. It's a really fun, accessible retro adventure that gets like super hard and super challenging, and at the same time doesn't sacrifice story. It's got its own like clearly defined narrative. So it's really cool. It's like the best of both worlds. You want to play a game for story? We got you. You want to play a game because it has great music? We got you. You want to play a game because it has cool animations and is fun? We got you there too. So that's the Padre was like my first baby in the video game industry, but Croom is just something completely different because I've had a lot more authorship of like the creative side of it, thanks to the hard work of Pete and Jeff.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard it from Patrick himself, the one-man army in the video game industry. He will be back eventually, obviously, because we got to talk more about this Croom. But Patrick, thanks so much for coming on, and for the second time in an hour. We hope you enjoyed talking with us.
Yeah, no problem, man. I can't wait to come on again and shoot the shit, man. Thank you guys so much.
Well, that was a dope interview.
The dopest of interviews over here.
Yeah, if we don't say so ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, so we're going to jump on over to the People's Champ. Yeah, Brent.
Forgot about the champion.
We forgot the champ.
Oh, the champ.
You can't forget the champ, bro.
It's okay. Hold on. I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, let me check and see if we got any questions up on the Instagram. Okay, yeah, we do have some on here as well, so.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
There's one more. This is great podcasting.
All right, I'm going to give it to Jason today. Jason Dummikin. He says, Luigi, Mario, Bowser versus Sonic, Knuckles, and Shadow. Who would win?
Man. Okay, Luigi, Mario, Bowser versus Sonic, Knuckles, and Shadow. That's an easy one, though. Like, I feel like Sonic, Knuckles, and Shadow would win the shit out of that. Just because, I mean, like, first off, Shadow is, like, just a gangster, dude. Like,
yeah, he does have guns.
He does have guns.
He keeps a strap.
And Sonic can turn into, like, Super Saiyan Sonic.
True, and Sonic can run really, really fast. I mean, Mario and Luigi don't really have any kind of power. I mean, they can eat shit and throw fireballs, but, like, we're just assuming this is just, like, them in a steel cage together, you know? No access to fucking powers. Now, Bowser, on the other hand, can blow fire. He's big. He's strong. I think he would be a formidable opponent, but can he, like... I mean, you know, can he deal with Sonic running really fast around to the back of him and grabbing his tail and throwing his ass?
If
you know
fucking
what I mean?
This, like, portly plumber, as someone said earlier in an article, can make his way around this, you know, around him and grab his tail and throw him, I imagine Sonic would just, like, it'd be nothing for him to get back there. You know?
Then Knuckles, you know, the name speaks for itself. Yeah, I mean, he's going to give you them knuckles.
He's literally got spiked knuckles.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's hands down the Sonic crew is going to beat that ass.
Yeah, definitely. Now, whenever it comes to movies, we'll see. Yeah. But anyway.
Good question over there.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. That's our People's Champ.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to jump on over to listener questions.
Okay. Listener questions. We got Kyle McAvoy here. He says, has anyone ever beaten Bushido Blade or Bikini Samurai Squad?
No.
First of all, I've never heard of Bikini Samurai Squad, but I have not beaten Bushido Blade. No,
Same. No, I have not.
Yeah. But, you know, maybe we'll find somebody. If you've beaten Bushido Blade or Bikini Samurai Squad, please comment in the comments below.
Bikini Samurai Squad sounds tight, though.
It does sound tight. I wonder if it's good.
I'd join that squad.
just to see the bikini. Okay, Austin Collins says to us, he says, what do you think should be the next big video game adaptation movie? As much as I want a Halo or Gears of War movie, I think that a great game that could get a huge release from Western fan and video fans would be Red Dead Redemption. Also, I'm much more of a mobile phone gamer nowadays. Any games you like to play on your phone that isn't all that time consuming? First of all, I agree Red Dead Redemption would be a wonderful series, and for that matter, a lot of those Rockstar games could be really good. Like, I think you could do a Grand Theft Auto series that would be excellent. I think you could do Manhunt and make that really good, or Bully would be good. Like a lot of those could have legs to stand on.
Yeah, no, that's true. I haven't really thought about which game right now would make a great movie, but yeah, it's tough. There's too many out there.
You can maybe do... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, what were you saying?
I was going to say you could do Senua's Sacrifice. You know what I mean?
I mean, that game's basically a movie. It's not really a game.
Exactly.
I would say, like, Mass Effect, just because I think, there's so many people that would really want to see that.
I would love that. And I feel like it would be cool to have another sci-fi thing out there other than, Star Trek or Star Wars,
Yeah,
that I could get behind, Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Mass Effect. I think that would be cool. Or Jade Empire would be neat, too. That'd be a cool movie. And as far as your mobile gaming conundrum, definitely look into Marvel Contest of Champions. It's a really fun little mobile game where it's like a brawler, kind of. It's just a fighting game, but, there's basically every Marvel character ever is in the game. And you can, unlock them with, little crystals you get daily. It's a lot of fun. It's really addictive.
Or Call of Duty Mobile.
Call of Duty Mobile's excellent, for sure. In my opinion, Call of Duty Mobile has the best Call of Duty Battle Royale out right now, so there you go.
Nice.
All right. So we got Jeffrey Lewis here. He says, what's the worst video game idea you have ever heard, and was it successful?
Man, we hear a lot of those on this week's releases. Are they successful? I'm not sure. I think Super Mario probably has the worst pitch for a video game idea.
Plumber eats mushrooms.
Not even that. It's
jumps on enemies.
Italian plumber runs and jumps on mushrooms to save his princess girlfriend.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
From a giant spiked turtle, and it turned out pretty good.
A lot of the early Nintendo pitches just sound crazy if you just say them out loud, like a fox and a toad, and they're in their pilots of spaceships, and they're flying through the nebula, just destroying.
To fight a big face.
Or two monkeys, a family of monkeys living in the jungle, and they're defending their bananas, and I guess that's not that crazy.
From alligators, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think basically any of the early Nintendo, first-party titles were pretty crazy, And
Earthbound?
They sound really bad. They sound bad, but they turn out to be, pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Good question. What we got more on Insta?
Yeah. Halo or COD?
I'm gonna go with COD. I'm a COD kind of guy. I know I grew up with Halo or whatever, but I'm just more of a realism kind of person. I like the realisticness of Call of Duty.
Ah, yes. The turncoat.
Benedict Arnold over here.
Brentedict Arnold. Yeah, no, I say Halo just because I was never a huge, I don't know, the Modern Warfare stuff I was just never a huge fan of.
My thing is, I don't like how in Halo you'll get a headshot or something and it just won't kill them. It's come on.
Well, you try being a cyborg, okay?
Fair enough.
It's hard out here. No, yeah, I don't know. I just like Halo more. The story matters more to me than the multiplayer stuff. But then that was from Galactic Hat Trick.
Cool name.
Indeed, yes. It's a very cool name. Justin Elrod 4. Justin Elrod asks, what's the best zombie game?
Man, That's
Probably Call of Duty Zombies, honestly, or Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead is
Left 4
one of my
Dead's
favorites.
good. It's kind of subjective. It depends on what you want from your zombie game.
Yeah, because they have one for like every genre now.
My personal favorite is the Dead Rising series, just because it doesn't take itself as seriously as other zombie games. I also really like Dying Light. Dying Light
great.
is fantastic.
Daisy is great.
is pretty good. Yeah,
if you have
even
Xbox.
World War Z was pretty good. But honestly, I don't know. I think my favorite zombie game ever is a weird one. It's probably Killing Floor Incursion for the PSVR.
Killing Floor is tight. I don't know about the VR one, but
it's really dope on VR, dude. Like,
yeah. So we haven't answered your question as what's the best zombie game, but we have answered plenty of great zombie games.
I think for me, the best one is going to be Dead Rising. Probably Dead Rising 2 or Dead Rising 4, which is controversial as a pick probably, but I liked 4 a lot.
Yeah, I'd say DayZ is my favorite because I'm not a huge zombie fan anymore like I used to be, but like that one, you'll sink hours into that game. It's
I like
just fun.
the looting elements of DayZ a lot.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun.
It's a fun loop, like you basically just, it's like The Sims with zombies almost. Anyways, thanks, Justin. Now let's round out the show with Brent's.
Brent's super hardcore video game trivia challenge. These are 11 questions designed to make the sweat drop down your balls.
Oh.
This week's topic is expensive gaming shit.
Ooh.
Yeah, this might be one of the hardest ones I've ever written up, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna know, but we'll try it.
It's real hard, bro. I've taken it to the next level as far as difficulty goes this week. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
All right,
the Dark Souls of Brent's super hard, whatever this is called. I still don't know what this segment is called. I need to remember.
It's okay.
Okay.
Just prepare yourself because none of that matters now. It's all about to get real as fuck.
Let's do it.
Question number 1. Does the Vive Pro use an LCD screen or an OLED screen?
OLED.
Oh, good. Ding, ding, ding. Good one. All right.
Number 1 in the bag.
Yeah. All right. Number 2. What does the acronym HOTAS stand for? HOTAS.
What is it in context? Like, what? Give me a sentence using this.
I played a game the other day using my new HOTAS controller.
Oh, a haptic?
No.
No. I don't know. There's no way I'll be able to guess this.
It's hands-on throttle and stick. So it'd be like for a flight sim or something like a.
Yeah, you could have literally like spelled it out for me, which you did, and I wouldn't know.
Okay, all right, no problem. 1 for 1. You're doing good. This is a hard one.
You mean 1 for 2?
1 for 2. One hit, 1 miss.
Okay.
Okay. Number 3. Which of these 3 graphics cards would generally be considered the best among PC enthusiasts? Okay. NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060, AMD Radeon RX 570, or the NVIDIA Titan RTX?
I'm going to say the RTX.
Ooh, good one. All right, so you've got 2. You've missed 1. You're doing incredibly well on this hard challenge.
I like that.
Number 4. True or false? Alienware has over 600 employees.
I'm going to say true.
False.
What?
Only, according to Wikipedia, Alienware only has 490 employees.
Whack.
I know.
It's not enough. They need more employees.
That's okay. You're still doing good. You got 2. You missed 2. This is the make or break question.
Oh, goodness.
All right. This game, for the original Nintendo, was made to use the Family Fun fitness mat. It is now so rare that even just the box alone is known to sell for as much as $10,000.
Oh, this is the
I see you know it. in your head, but it's just the words aren't coming to you.
No, it's not. Can you give me the first letter?
S.
Yeah, but is the S like for it's not for super, is it? No, because this is on NES. It
went with the trackpad.
Yeah. This is
a tough one. It's a tough one.
It's
a weird game. It actually came out later as a different game. It was like re-released. The only reason it's so rare is because Nintendo pulled the original copies with this name.
Yeah, it's something. It's like the something track or something. No, it's like something championship.
Oh, you're so close.
Oh my gosh, it's Why can't I remember this? What? Okay. How many words are in it?
2 words.
Okay. I know this one. I know it, but I won't remember the words. What is it?
It's stadium events.
I knew it. I did know that one just because
I figured you did. This was one of those that I figured like you would know, but like it would be hard to like recollect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like
still the fact that you got 2 out of these. I thought I had some really hard ones here. So the fact that you even got 2 of them is pretty impressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I am proud of myself for knowing this. All these bougie gaming things. But yeah, that's it for the show this week, guys. Remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to the GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast or on the on the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. Check out our video content on YouTube. It's youtube.com/CreateForSanity. And if you want to stay up to date with you boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle AlJafferJamel and Brent at Brent Has One. That's the number 1. Until next time, listeners, later.